everybody, and welcome to another Mail Art Monday video. In today's video, I am going to be working with supplies from the Design Team pack that I got from Crafty Lisa's Vintage. This particular supply set is actually from the sale that she has got going on the last weekend in February. I've talked about it a few times, but I am on Lisa's design team now, and so she sent all of her design team members a bunch of supplies to work with from each sale that she's going to be having this year. And this is her Pastel Victorian Easter sale, and I'm so excited. I loved these supplies. I've gone through them pretty well. I have a lot of tickets left over, but I feel like I'm going to try to create one more project in mind with it. I think I'm going to try to make a card, and just so I can sort of really get these tickets used up, because there was a lot of ticket options in this particular pack and in the sale. But in today's video, I am going to be making this mail folder. So the point of the whole thing is to be able to hold your letter and whatever supplies or goodies you want to send to your pen pal. The particular card that I'm working on, the white color speckled cardstock that I'm working with, is actually what Lisa attaches all of the items that you purchase on to keep everything stable and so that it doesn't shift or move while it's being shipped. The paper alone is gorgeous, and the card is just thick enough where I felt like I could reuse it and repurpose it. But when I was taking all the individual little packs off of the paper, some of the paper did tear away from the card, and so in an effort to hide where the paper has ripped, I'm putting these little mini collages over to hide it. And I really like this project. I was really inspired to reuse this card because it was really beautiful, and it was a great way to sort of use the supplies that she sent us and sort of inspire you so you can get a better idea on how to use vintage paper and vintage stationery. I know sometimes it can be very painful to use it. Trust me, I know, especially since it's vintage and you don't know if it can be replaced or not, but the benefit of shopping with Lisa is that you know that she's always going to have more stuff coming down the pipeline. I never am in fear of missing something because I know I can easily just buy it from her again. If it's not the exact same thing, it's something very similar. And that's what makes it very easy to craft with the things that Lisa sells. Not only does she have an abundance, but she's got very fair prices on the quality of the vintage things that she is selling. So I've just made a trifold, and you have seen up to this point in this video how I folded it. It's fairly simple. I didn't measure anything. I just folded it. It might be a little bit tricky to find an envelope to fit in it. I think I'll be okay with a 6x9, but I haven't actually measured it properly. I guess I could just really quickly since it's just right in front of me here. Let me close it up. So let's see. We are 5 1/4 across and 8 1/2 tall. So if you guys were curious about what the final measurement is folded up, I think I will be easily able to use a 6x9 envelope to send this in. But yeah, so I've decorated the front in order to cover all those spots, and I put a little grommet in so I can use that as a closure to close this entire thing up. I just used my Crop-A-Dile. It's been around for a while, but I definitely did not jump on the bandwagon like 7 years ago and buy one when everybody else did. And so I have just purchased one, and I am throwing grommets in everything. I really enjoy the process, and I really think it gives it a fun little effect. So what I'm doing now is trying to go through what I have left of Lisa's supplies. I don't have a lot left. I mean, it looks like a lot, but it doesn't, a lot of it doesn't really make sense now. I've got a lot of these labels and a ton of tickets and some religious cards. So it's going to be fun to play with it even still, but for what I'm working in now, I just felt like I was using a lot of labels and I wanted to sort of diversify a little bit. And I was having a hard time covering where the paper had ripped. So I used one of the vintage pages that she also included. This is an old paper, and I tell you what, it did hurt to tear it because it's old. But I did because I was really desperate to cover it up. But as you can see, I have just like, with no rhyme or reason and no precision, just sort of covered half of it up to sort of give an anchoring piece for all the other elements to lay on. And what I'm doing now is I'm just gluing some more elements down because I want it to sort of look like they're like falling out of the pockets that I'm going to glue down. It sort of has that like mind game sort of effect. It looks like there's a lot more there when there's just really not. It's mostly just there for decoration and to hide where the paper had torn. But you'll see what I mean in just a second. So I'm going to put some of this tape down and I'm going to glue this particular pocket down. And I did use another label. I was apprehensive because I had used the larger Atlas one on the right, but I didn't have anything big enough or sturdy enough. Everything else is pretty thin, and I want it to be sturdy enough to actually be a pocket. So that's what I did. I want to apologize if you can hear the kids in the background. Cullen has literally just woken up from his nap as soon as I started recording this, so he is begging to come out of his room. And the boys are playing their video games in the room right next to me. So I'm quickly trying to do this voiceover so I can have it up for you guys tomorrow, which is Monday. And so, yeah, apologies there, but real life. I just laid down another piece of paper in the background there, again, to add this sort of illusion that there is paper coming out of everything in here. But really, I just did it because I wanted to hide, again, where a piece of the paper had ripped away from the card. Like, you guys know what I mean. So right now what I'm looking for is another item to sort of create a pocket out of. I didn't want to use another label and I want it to have a different dimension here. So I just halfway glue one of these paper moneys down and you can see I'm just sliding some tickets behind it. Again, I'm hiding stuff behind it, but it looks like it's coming out of this bigger pocket on the bottom. So it looks very, very full, but it's actually a hidden pocket. I think this is a really clever idea to make it look like you're putting a lot more in there when you're not, and it looks beautiful. And the beauty of these type pockets is they can be reused over and over and over again. So I've just got some onion skin. That's for my personal collection, but I'm just seeing how much I need to fold this down. The reason I'm showing you this is because this could be your letter. This is where the pocket you're going to put your letter in, and then you can just sort of shove these bigger items in the fold of that onion skin, slide it in there, and again, it adds another layer and texture, and I really love the way this turns out. I'm going to put the string around it. I don't do anything fancy with it, but I just wanted to show you that that was the point of the grommet. But yeah, I really love the way this turned out. Like I said, this can be recycled. You and your pen pals can use it over and over and over again. I know I have done that. If I get one of these in the mail, I reuse it and send it on to another pen pal so that everybody can get the fun experience by using the same thing over and over again. It's fun to decorate. It's fun to reuse, and I recycled everything because the card that the base is made out of is something that Lisa sent. So to finish it off, I'm going to just slide one of these nibs on there to give it that finished feel. I love the look of it. And that is it. That's done. I really love the way this turned out. I hope you guys are inspired to recycle things that you have and give it new life, and enjoy making these fun little snail mail pocket folders. That's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for hanging out. Everything you need for Lisa's sale will be down below in the description, and I hope you will consider shopping and supporting her. Thank you so much for hanging out. Bye!